What is up, everybody? Bleeding Blue Podcast. We are back at it, ready for another week to be discussing big week, big weekend as the playoffs are here for football. Playoffs are here. We are
hmm
excited. We are ready, and we are ready to talk all playoff predictions. Ryan, are you excited? I know you are. This is a good, big week for you. This is fun. This
This
is
is probably my favorite weekend in all of sports. I'm not gonna lie.
really.
Yeah, for sure. Seven games of the best teams of the no, not 7 games, 6 games of the best teams in the NFL going at it. I mean, what more do you want, right? It's either this for me, week one of the NFL season, or Masters weekend. It's those three that get me very excited. So yeah,
See,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
happy.
no,
I'm
I
happy.
mean
I'm
this.
happy we're here.
This could be a fun weekend for me as well because I mean I'm working that Sunday, so which sucks. But I'll be able to watch a decent amount of the game, and I'm gonna try and watch as much as I can of the game of the Bills,
hmm
and the other games as well because I will be putting money on this, and I would like to win. So that'll be
Yeah,
an important aspect of this for me.
for sure.
Um, I guess you got to tell the people your bet, and I think this is a way to promote your gambling addiction right here. But
I'm not addicted to gambling.
I know.
All right.
Explain your thought process with this
Okay. So I mentioned this to
parlay.
Ryan. I mentioned this to Ryan a couple days ago. And I mentioned to my other friends too, who also dabble in a little bit of sports gambling. But Dawson Knox, the tight end for the Bills, he has the last five wild card games he has played in at home with the Bills. He has caught the first touchdown in the game. So I'm putting $5 on Dawson Knox to get the first touchdown on Sunday. $5 on it wins you 135. That's all I'm going to say. Plus 3,000 odds. Whoever's watching, just put $5 on it. You don't have to put your whole bank account on it because it's a risky bet. But I'm just saying, I've done the research. Go do it.
Heard heard. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put it
Just
down.
a just a little taste there for all of you sports gambling people. Nothing crazy. Don't gamble responsibly, everyone. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Make sure you're not, putting your whole bank account on something this weekend. Be conservative with your money.
Should we get into it? Should we get into our
Let's do
decision
it, man.
for our prediction, our playoff prediction?
Let's do it.
Other than that, like yeah, we'll get into some Leafs talk after that because obviously last couple of games have been very good for them.
hmm
Tied with the league best record for their conference. So yeah,
hmm
yeah, pretty good. Anyway, let's move on. Ryan, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? What should we do?
We can just go back and forth with each game.
You want to go back
We
and
can,
forth? I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
does make it
So
easy for the TikToks. I'm just gonna say to
fair
edit the
enough. Yeah,
TikTok.
that's fair. Okay, so I'll go first then.
Okay.
I'll go first. Um, so we'll start off. We'll just go in order of when they're being played. Um, so first game. Actually, no. Before we talk about the game, We'll just quickly do a recap of last week of the Bills.
Oh yeah.
Nothing game really. They rested everyone basically. Allen played one snap, and then he went off just to continue his streak.
Who cares?
It was a loss. Who cares? We'll just do a quick little recap because I just wanted to. Okay. Okay. First game. We got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Houston to play the Texans. Exciting game. Two teams that they've had solid seasons. I think the Chargers have definitely overachieved this year with the roster that they have, and with the new coach with Jim Harbaugh coming in. And the Texans, I thought they'd have a better record, but they just had some injury problems that kind of held them back. But still won their division, so good for them. Chargers are favored by 3 points. Um, I like the Chargers here. I know it's probably gonna be a close game. Um, Houston's very good at home. They have a great defense. Good offense with C.J. Stroud, even though he's having an off year. Um, I think the Chargers just win it by a field goal or maybe a little bit more. I think their defense and their ability to run the ball with J.K. Dobbins, and Herbert's been playing really good this year. He doesn't turn over the ball much. I think they just have the edge over the Texans, who are littered with injuries. So I'm going to take them in a close game on Saturday afternoon. And then Saturday night, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Baltimore Ravens. 8 o'clock night game, divisional matchup in the playoffs. Always a fun game. This is a pretty easy choice for me. I didn't really have much time to think about this. Um, I think the Ravens destroy Pittsburgh. Um, Pittsburgh has been very struggling a lot recently. They've lost their last 4 games. Russell Wilson has not looked very good. He's having some trouble communicating with Pickens and the other receivers on the team. Um, Ravens are just on a roll right now. Lamar Jackson's playing like an MVP again. Derrick Henry, that new addition to the offense, he's been playing great this whole year. Mark Andrews has been catching touchdowns. Their defense is playing good. I don't think any team right now, other than maybe a couple others in the league, are stopping Baltimore at home. So I think they'll beat them handedly. They'll get out to a very early lead and they'll just keep it the whole game. So I'm going to take Baltimore. Um, and then next game, our game, our team, Bills hosting the Broncos, 1 o'clock on Sunday. This is a big game. I think this will be closer than the average Bills home game will be. The Broncos are very good defensively. A lot of great players. You know, they got Patrick Surtain. They got Nick Benito, who's probably Defensive Player of the Year candidate right this year. A lot of great players. They've actually did a little research on the Broncos defense. They've sacked the quarterback the most out of any team in the NFL. And the Bills' offensive line has given up the least amount of sacks in the NFL. So this is kind of like the best against the best, which is I'm very excited about to see who comes out on top. But I think just the Bills' offense is too high powered, too explosive for any team right now, in my opinion. You know, Josh Allen in the playoffs, he's better than anyone other than Patrick Mahomes, basically. So I think the Bills win. I'm not saying comfortably, but I think they'll win by I'd say 7 to 10 points. It'll be close because the Bills are not very strong in the first half, as we know from this year. They're a second half team. I think the Broncos will probably come out strong and they'll, give them a fight and they might lead after the first half. That might happen. And then I think McDermott's going to make some second half adjustments and that's when Allen's going to take over and win the game for the Bills. The defense has been playing good recently. Um, I don't think the Bills will have problems with Bo Nix, rookie quarterback playing his first playoff game. That's different environment in Buffalo in the cold. It's going to be tough for him to figure out the Bills defense and trying to get communication out to his players. And I think just the Bills defense is stronger than Denver's offense. So I'm just going to pick Bills by a solid amount. I say 7 to 10. It'll be closer than people think though. Green Bay against the Eagles in Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia. I think this will be like the Ravens game. I think this will be another blowout. Philadelphia's offense is too good. Their O-line's too good. Saquon's too good. They have AJ Brown and Devontae as a 1-2 punch on receive. Like their offense is
Yeah.
high powered. Um, Packers have a very good team also, but I think they've been struggling recently. They just lost to Chicago, and they didn't really play well against Minnesota, who got embarrassed by Detroit last week. Yeah, they're just not looking too good right now, and I think the Eagles are their defense is good too. They got 2 rookie safeties who are playing really good this year, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I think they have really good defensive players that can stop Jacobs and uh, Jordan Love. I think they can just take over the game early and keep that lead. So I'm gonna go with the Eagles
He's,
by I'd say 2 touchdowns.
he's it looks like is Jalen Hurts, is he going to be able to play?
Yeah, he was in practice today. Actually, I just checked on Twitter. He's gonna be playing. He's probably gonna play. I don't see him sitting out. He'll probably tough through it and play for the team. But
Yeah.
I think despite that, they have Kenny Pickett and that third string Tanner McKee, who's played the last 2 games and he's been really good.
Mhm.
So I don't think they'll have trouble with throwing the ball because they've been both really good. They've been both been playing really good. So, and obviously, if they don't have throwing, they have Saquon in the backfield, who's the best running back in the game right now. So, I don't think there's any worries about that. Okay, now we're going to Sunday night game. Commanders against the Buccaneers. This is a tough one for me. Both teams high-powered offenses, both high-powered offense. The defense is not so much for each team, but you Commanders, you have a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, probably rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year this year. Um, they have Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson at running back, Zach Ertz at tight end. They got some good weapons on offense. Same with the Buccaneers, who have Baker Mayfield is having probably his best year as a quarterback, with Mike Evans at wide receiver, who just continued his 1,000-yard season streak on Sunday, which is awesome to see. They have Bucky Irving, Rashad White at running back. Great offensive weapons. Cade Otton at tight end. Um, this is gonna be a high scoring game. I don't see this being like a 20-17 game. This is gonna be very high scoring, very close. But I think I give the edge to the Bucks just because they're at home. They have the crowd behind them. I think the Baker's he has experience in the playoffs over Jane Daniels. I don't know if he has the playoff, you know, I'm not going to say uh he doesn't have the playoff uh thing, like that playoff thing in him. He doesn't have the experience to, go out there and make a big play in the playoffs, I don't think yet. So he'll have that experience for sure. He'll be in the playoffs more often, but I think the Bucks just take it. It'll be a close game, another field goal game. I'll give them the edge. And then Monday night, you got the Vikings against the Rams. Monday night game in Los Angeles. Two very good offenses. Obviously we can talk about Sam Darnold with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones at running back. And then you got the Rams with Matthew Stafford, who I think they rested last week. I don't think they might have played. I'm not sure. I didn't watch that game, but um, with Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, very high powered offense as we've seen this season against the Bills and other good teams. They have the power to score 40, 50 points on you if they want to. Um, and that's who I'm going with. I'm taking the upset here. I'm taking the Rams over the Vikings. I think, despite the Vikings winning 14 games this season, that last week against Detroit was not convincing. I saw the Vikings in the red zone fail 3 times to score a touchdown when they had, I think about 8 or 9 times they had throws into the end zone that were overthrown by Darnold. And if that continues on Monday, they're not going to win the game. They're not going to win a playoff game, and that's what's going to cost them. So I'm going to go with the Rams. Stafford obviously won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. They have the home crowd behind them. Uh, in a stadium where there's no weather, weather's not a problem. Nakua is going to go off against that Viking secondary, as we saw last week against Detroit. Kyron Williams might have a big game too because Gibbs ran all over that Vikings defense last week. Uh, yeah, I think it's gonna be high scoring. Definitely take the over on this game, in my opinion. Uh, yeah, the Rams offense is gonna go off. Stafford might have a 300-yard game. Yeah, I think the Rams beat this. I think the Rams beat them comfortably, honestly. That's kind of a hot take, but I think the Rams just have their number. The Rams obviously beat them earlier in the season, um, on Thursday night. I think in week 5 or 6 or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I think the Rams beat them comfortably. I think that last week by the Vikings kind of threw their game off a bit, and I don't think they're going to come back from that loss. So yeah, give me the Rams.
Interesting. All right, cool. All right, my turn then. I'll go break it down.
Okay,
I don't have them in order the date. I guess I could figure that
that's
out.
fine. You can
What?
you can say whatever.
Um, all right, so I got I'll do, yeah, Ravens versus Steelers. I have the Ravens beating the Steelers handily. Like you said, they're just a
Mhm.
better team. Steelers right now are fucking struggling heavily. They're not the team to. I'd be very, very surprised if they even have a chance or make it close with the Ravens. You've just got a dominant team in the Ravens over the Steelers. So the
Hmm.
Ravens easily beating um, the Steelers. Next, I got Chargers and Texans. I got the Chargers beating the Houston Texans. Again,
Hmm.
Texans are a team that's been struggling lately as well, and have been having some lots of injuries with their team. I just think I don't know. I think it's one of those upset. Yes, it is in. They're in playing in Texas. So they're playing in Houston,
Hmm.
and that does have that there's some sort of advantage there playing in your home field, home stadium. But I just think the Chargers are gonna. I think they're gonna walk all over the Texans in that game. Um, in Rams versus Vikings, I got the Rams beating the Vikings, like you said. Same sort of thing. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl champ. Uh, I don't know. I think that there's something that it's I think it's the same reason why you chose them is they just have the experience, and I think the Rams have the experience, and they maybe don't have the better record as a team. They don't have uh the same sort of maybe the same sort of players like Justin Jefferson on the Vikings, but I don't know. I think that's going to be one of those upset games maybe, and the Vikings will not win
Hmm.
against the Rams. So yeah. This one's a little bit different than you. You chose Bucks to beat the Commanders.
Hmm.
I got Commanders beating the Bucks, my friend.
Okay.
I want to see that. I want to see they have not been a good team in a long time. The Washington Commanders, and before obviously they're the Redskins, but I just can't see. I don't know. I think last year they kind of upset the Bucks upset the Cowboys, right? That's who they or who was it?
The Packers beat the Cowboys.
Okay,
Are you
then
talking about the Bucks beating the Eagles? Oh, that's what you're
Eagles,
talking
yeah,
about.
that was an upset. I felt like because I think the
Hmm.
Eagles were the the team to win for sure at that point. But I think Commanders are gonna end up just walking the floor with the Bucks. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think the Commanders will come out on top. Eagles in Green Bay. I think Eagles beat Green Bay pretty
Hmm.
handedly. They're a good team. They're one of it's like the Ravens in my opinion. I think the Ravens are still a better team, but Eagles are really really good and they have a lot of good players. It's just like one of those unfair matchups in my opinion where
Hmm.
they're just going to win. And then Bills and Broncos. Bills beat the Broncos. I think, like you said, Dawson Knox touchdown first quarter, and then I think there's going to be a Josh Allen touchdown. And I think, yeah, maybe the Broncos get a few points, make it close, with maybe within three, we'll say, and then
Hmm.
by the end of it, we are the winners and move on to the next round. So yeah, that's my prediction. Pretty similar to you, not too
Yeah.
much different, but
Hmm.
I think it's like I don't know. These team games don't look too like up and like oh this it's hard it could go either way maybe, but
Hmm.
like I think Commanders and Bucks could go either way. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I could see that, and
That
then
was the
maybe
only,
Rams.
that was really the only game I had a tough time trying to figure out who could win. Both teams are very evenly matched, I think. So I was very close to picking Washington also.
Yeah.
I think next week is where we'll see, very tough decisions on who's going to go to the next round because
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
if we're looking at the potential matchups for next week based off our picks, uh, there's some spicy matchups that we could see with especially Bills Ravens in Buffalo. That's going to be if that goes to fruition, that is going to be a very fun game to watch. Not for us because we're going to be you know hiding our faces in the screen, but I think we'll be very excited to. I think just as a neutral fan, I think people are going to have a lot of fun watching that game. But
Yeah.
yeah, Wild card weekend is a fun time. So I'm excited to watch these games.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right, shall we move on to Leafs
Yeah,
discussion?
let's do it.
Man, they are fucking hot. Won last six of their seven and won the last five games in a row. They're fucking good. And
Yeah, they've
how
won
about
they've
that?
won 3 games in the last 4 days.
Yeah, how about that Matthew Nyes guy? Like also, like holy shit, he is on a fucking tear right now.
Yeah.
He's having a breakout season. Like, I mean, if he can keep up this pace, he's probably on pace for around like over 30 goals. So, and I can
Yeah.
totally see that out of him. He's a good player. He's got the confidence, and that's what he says. He's got confidence, scoring that hat trick on what was it, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday.
hmm
And with the one of the nicest goals I have ever seen. Holy shit, that was
There's
incredible.
the second goal was fantastic. The one where
Yeah.
he turns around and it's a backhand on Swayman. That was a great game. I remember
Against
watching that.
Boston too. Feels so much
Yeah, it's
better.
always nice. It's always nice beating Boston, but we need to beat them in the playoffs, though. That's when it really matters. But it's always nice seeing all the Boston fans pissed off
Yeah.
um, when they lose. But they're always going to bring back 4-1 and all that bullshit. But let's not mention that. And then Sunday we have two close wins against the Flyers on Sunday and yesterday. Um, Good games, man. Good solid games. Flyers are a tough team, even though they don't have the best record right now. It's always a tough team with Tortorella coaching them. They're going to give you a tough battle every time. So
Yeah.
it was good to get those two wins there. 3-2 both times. I can't remember who scored in the first game. I remember I think Nyes had one. I think Nyes had it to win the game. Um, shoot, I'm
Yeah,
just
it was
trying to
nice.
get
He
there.
had a tip in from Morgan Riley. Morgan
That's right.
Riley shot it.
Morgan Riley overtime winner. Yes, that's right because they went to overtime.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was a fun watch. Ekman Larson had one also. He rarely scores, so it was nice to see him get one in. Um, yeah, man, the goaltending's been great. Defense has
Joel.
been solid. Yeah, Joseph Wall's been good stepping up for Stolars who got injured a few weeks ago. Hopefully he comes back soon
Yeah.
and we can get that 1-2 punch back again. But right
But it's
now
also good to know that we do have a team that's even when Stolars can go down, we still have Wall to come in and cover and play great, like be an
yeah.
absolutely efficient goaltender, like 915 save percentage, 2.46 goals against average. Those
hmm
are really, really good numbers.
For
Really
sure.
good numbers. And Stolars, yeah, you want him back. You obviously want him back as soon as you can. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. It appears like says said on December 17th that Stolars is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks after and yeah, so
Yeah, and
that sucks.
I forgot to mention Hildeby, or is Hildebeest, his nickname is. He played great on Sunday too with 30 saves, only let up 2 goals, played great. Off a back to back. And then yeah, yesterday's game against the Flyers again. Matthews had a goal, Tavares had a goal, Nyes with the winner, late in the third period. Marner again with 2 assists. He just keeps racking them up.
Yeah.
The team's looking very strong right now. There's nothing really bad to say about this team. I
No.
think since the beginning of the year, I think the defense has massively improved and the team is definitely more disciplined than when Keefe was the coach. And I think you can also see that from the Devils' standpoint as he's taken over there in New Jersey. I think they've definitely gone less disciplined as a team, and they've kind of struggled. Even though they have a good record right now, they've kind of struggled the past couple of weeks in losing games. And uh, I think Keefe is a good coach on paper, but when it comes to these tough matchups, I think he's tough to. It's tough for him to account for stronger players, and I think that's why Berube is so good at that, and making sure his team is well prepared and playing physical hockey. So I think that's what's made this Leafs team different from past years, and I'm enjoying it right now, man. Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Uh, we
Uh,
got
Last
what
night's
were you gonna
game
say?
even wasn't even that like they didn't play that great. Like they had 30 shots on net and then like or no, sorry, not 30. They had like 17 shots on net and then 30 for Philadelphia. Like it was
Yeah, yeah.
definitely
It kind of similar
Philadelphia's
to
game
that.
to lose,
What was
and
that
they
game?
lost it.
What was that game? They played New Jersey. There was that one game where they only had like 9 shots on net or something, and they still ended up winning. They went into overtime. That was a tough watch. And Solars had 38 saves that game. I remember that game. That game was crazy.
Yeah, that
It
game.
was kind of similar to that in that sense, where the offense wasn't really there, but we ended up winning the game. So that's all that matters, really. You have those tough games like that, and especially playing 3 games in 4 days is tough. So I
And
think that
now
might have
we're
been another reason why.
and now we're halfway through the season, and we are on pace to win around some like 54 games.
Yeah, yeah, we're on pace to win. I think over 100 points at least. I think we'll get there, and on pace to win the division, which we haven't done in, I don't know, it's been a while. So that would be nice to have a
Yes,
wild card
it's
team to
still we're
play.
still gonna fucking face the same teams though. Like,
Well, I don't know. It could be different because right now I'm pretty sure Montreal is in a wild card spot.
oh,
After being last in the division, they have now jumped up to a wild card spot, which is pretty
that's not
crazy.
gonna last. That's not gonna last, bro.
Who knows, man? They've been on the hot streak. They've been playing really well.
Take a look. All right, wild card. How many teams are in the wild? How many teams make the wild
I
card?
think it's two. So I think right now it's I think it's Tampa and
Okay, they are not in a wild card
Columbus.
spot. They're not. They're
Columbus is in a wild card spot right now.
Columbus is.
That is crazy to me. Columbus in a wild card spot. Wow.
Yeah.
That's another team we could face in the playoffs if we do win the division, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Uh, there is some tough matchups coming up for the Leafs here. Before we get to our next podcast, we got Toronto. The Leafs play the Hurricanes tomorrow. That's gonna be a tough game. That could be a loss. Carolina, obviously, very good team, very strong. We could be playing that. Could be playing them in the playoffs. Could be. And then we got Vancouver on Saturday. Obviously, strong team. Um, made it to the semifinals last year. Dallas on Tuesday. Dallas. We usually play Dallas pretty well, but they're always a solid team, so you never know what could happen there. And if we get there, we do play the Devils again. I think it's Keith's first game back in Toronto, so that'll be interesting to see.
What do you think is gonna
Uh,
happen? Do you think he's gonna get booed?
oh, the Leafs are gonna destroy them. It's gonna be a blowout. I think. I think that'll be Keith's first game back. I think he's gonna be nervous going back into the building, and Berube's gonna barrage that team. It's gonna be like a 7-2 win. That's my prediction. But we'll get if we don't get to that next week, then we'll talk about it in more depth. But I think this team, there's no problems right now. I don't think
Yeah,
there's any problems with this team. I think they're playing strong hockey, and hopefully they continue that trend.
absolutely, man. Absolutely. They are playing probably the best hockey they have been playing in a long time. There's like no drama. Like longest
Hmm.
losing streak they've had this season is 3 games, which is it's not bad. It's like obviously you wanted to, yeah, like let's take a look at last year. Longest losing streak they had last year was 4 games, I think. Actually, 5 games. Yeah, five. Yeah, no, 4 games.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they'll get on the 5 game losing streak this year. Just by how consistent they've been, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they'll stay strong. Based on our predictions we had for this year, the Leafs are definitely exceeding our expectations right now. Uh, I had them winning 49 games. You had them winning 47. So they're definitely playing better than we thought they would be. So
That's good. Hey, we did this. This has happened for both teams. Like we got to do this for the Jays, man. Predict the Jays to win 60 games and then they win 100. So let's maybe that'll happen. Maybe sign a couple fucking players and re-sign Vladdy. Oh,
that's a good segue to our Blue Jays talk. Take it away, Ryan.
yeah, fuck the Blue Jays. Apparently, Vladdy is seeking 100 more million than what they offered him. So he's offered 350. He wants something more like 450, which I think you should be paying him. Like I don't think bad. Like think of fucking Juan Soto. He's paid $700 million. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, like that's crazy. That is crazy. And then Vladdy, who is he's not Juan Soto's a little bit better. He is. He is a little bit better, and that's why Vladdy is getting less. 450 million for a guy who could play third base and first base. Yeah, give me that. Give me that. Give me that all day. So
I would pay 450 for
in a
Vladdy in a
heartbeat.
heartbeat.
I don't know
Yep.
why they're not. I don't know why they're fucking not. Like it's such fucking bullshit, man. Like it makes no sense. And any team can do it. Like why don't you just do this? Like dude, like I'm mourning like Ross Atkins. I'm saying telling you right now, like there are gonna be people like who are gonna see you on the streets and they're gonna like hate crime you. You're gonna turn into like Justin Trudeau, bro.
Oh
Like
God.
everyone's gonna fucking hate you. Like I'm telling you right now, like it's gonna happen. Like all you have to do, you sign you sign fucking Blatty, Ross. You're good as done. Like you're perfect. Like everyone loves you. Nobody's gonna any
Nah, I don't know about that.
fine. Sign Bo and Blatty. You're good. I don't care. I don't care what you do next. I don't care what you do. But care about this team. This you got fucking Canada behind your back that wants you to sign Vladdy. He's Canadian, man, too. He's born in Montreal. He's a Canadian player. It's right there. It's right there for perfection. Just sign him. Like you're wasting
Mhm.
all these fucking years, man. Just sign Vladdy. Like I'm actually gonna fucking cry. Like I'm genuinely going to cry. Like if they don't, or I'm gonna
No,
stop watching
it's
baseball.
like it was like
I'm gonna
last. It's
stop. I'm not watching the Jays. I'm done, and it's ruined the sport for me if they don't sign Vladdy. Honestly,
Yeah, it's like if the Leafs at least didn't sign Matthews last year,
how
right?
terrible would that be? How horrible would it be watching Matthews on a different team on the fucking New York Rangers or whatever wherever he'd go on the
Right.
Boston, not the Boston Bruins, but like I don't know, on the fucking Florida Panthers. How horrible would that be?
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to bring football in again, but that's like how Saquon left the Giants and now he's on the Eagles, their rival, and he breaks the 2,000 yard rushing mark, and the Giants are fighting for a first overall pick again. Like it's just that type of stuff. Watching your favorite player just leave and play even better on another team.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen, and then he's going to fuck it. Like the Jays are gonna be horrible for like 10 years probably. It's not going to be good. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like the if he doesn't pull this off, it's gonna be a tough It's gonna be a tough season coming up. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I just gotta throw it out there. If the Jays had, like I said this to you yesterday, if the Jays had the Bills management team, we would have at least Soto or Ohtani right now.
Yeah.
And Vladdy would be signed for another 10 years
Yeah.
immediately because, Josh Allen's coming up on a contract year and I already know they're going to give him whatever the fuck he wants because they're not letting him go. There's no way they're letting Josh Allen go. So this Josh Allen's like the Vlad of or Vlad's like the Josh Allen of the team. He's the heart and soul of the team. They better not let him go because if they don't, they're gonna the fans are gonna fucking crucify you, man.
Don't have like a good farm system. We have a horrible farm system actually. Like and so it's not like there's people coming up. Like I don't know why. Like just why would you not sign him? Like just it makes no sense. You're a big market team. You spend money. Like you're letting off a bunch of money anyway to begin with, like
Hmm.
by like because Bassett's done his deal, fucking Bichette's done his deal. You got a bunch of people off the books. You have money to spend. Like, come on. Like, why are you signing Andres Jimenez to fucking like he's got to be cooking up something. Like, unless he's absolutely fucking brain dead. He's been
Hmm.
fucking lobotomized or something. I don't know what's going on with Ross. Like,
Yep. Yeah, it's a tough it's a tough scene right now at Rogers Center.
apparently he wants to go to Boston. Apparently Vladdy is like if he
Oh yeah, he'd love to go there.
hanging with Raffy Devers and fucking,
That's his boy, man.
I mean, I'd want to go to Boston too, probably at this point. Like, I don't even fucking blame him. Like, you're on a shitty team. Like, Boston's a fucking storied franchise. Like, Yeah. Uh, they recently won a World Series. They've gone to the playoffs. Yeah. Fuck this, man. I mean, they're not good now, but like they'll be good if they sign Vladdy, obviously.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a tough scene. It's we can't obviously the fans can't do anything about it. You can obviously try and convince Vlad to stay, but he does want to stay. So there's
I
it's
might,
not that.
I might just cheer on. I might become fans of the team wherever Vladdy signs. Like
No,
honestly,
don't do that. Don't be that type of person. You got to stay. You got to stay with your team.
I don't want to
You got to
go.
stay with your team, man.
They're gonna suck. Yeah, I love Vladdy though, man. Like he's the best. Anyway, yeah, let's go on to our top five. Top
You
five.
introduce it.
You know what? This is actually another good segue because this stuff will help us get through this fucking season upcoming with the Jays. On this list, everything here is gonna help us. So, uh, yeah, top
And help
five
us go through the
cocktails.
Bills playoff run too. Watching
Yep,
those games.
top five cocktails. Um, I'll go first this time. I'll go
Yeah,
first.
go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right, honorable mention. I got eggnog with fucking. This is a nice classic Christmas eggnog.
Okay. Yep.
Rye, I guess. I don't know, rum or rye. I don't know what you do with vodka,
What? Put in the thing. It's bourbon.
bourbon,
Oh, I remember watching that video of what's her name? Who's the what's her name?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart. Yeah, making her eggnog. She puts so much alcohol in it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how people drink that shit.
It's good, but it's delicious, especially for the Christmas time. It's a very nice drink.
Yep.
Number five, I got a Moscow Mule. Moscow Mules are fucking
Never
delicious.
had one.
They are very, very good. They're like you got ginger. It's like ginger beer, like in like lime juice, or like lemon lime juice, something like that. It's really, really
Okay.
good. Sugary and sweet. Very nice. At
Okay.
number four, I got a classic, especially from a good movie called The Big Lebowski, which my friend, yeah, what Jeff Lebowski loves to drink, a White
hmm
Russian. White Russians are incredible. I love them to begin with. It's basically just like cream and fucking vodka. It's not really anything insane, but it's like I don't know. It tastes good. I think it's good. If it's cold, it's frozen. It's good.
hmm
At number three, I got a classic Canadian Caesar. Caesar's very, very good. You know, definitely for you do at around if you're
My
during the
mom's a big fan
summer.
of those.
No,
No, I said she is. She's a big fan of the
who is
Caesar.
your mom?
My mom, yeah,
Yeah,
she loves the
they're good.
Caesar.
Most moms are, and some guys. I like a Caesar. They're classic and they're
hmm
good. I've made some pretty shitty Caesars in my lifetime too. I remember I've definitely made some bad Caesars. It's hard. They're you can't always do them right, but I've had some really good ones too.
hmm
And number two, a classic, nothing too special, vodka cranberry. Yeah,
hmm
whatever. It's not a very masculine drink, but who cares? They are delicious, and I love them. Cranberry juice is delicious, and so yeah, that's my number two. It's classic. It's something simple, and I'm a simple guy. I
hmm
don't I don't need anything fucking fancy. I don't need an old fashioned. I don't need a fucking espresso martini. Fuck that. I'm not trying to stay up all night. That's like dangerous. No, what's the? I had a list, but I was gonna go through a bunch because they were like disgusting. But at number one, I
hmm
got rum and coke, the classic, the OG.
Right.
I've been drinking this since a, a long time, so I love them. They're they taste incredible.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's my list.
It's good. It's a good list. Um, yeah, let me just go through. I'm still actually kind of deciding. I've been having a tough time with these. Yeah, okay. All right, I got my list. All right. Uh one I've recently discovered, and I'm putting it at my honorable mention that I've had recently is the espresso martini, the one that you dissed. It's fantastic. I'm sorry. I love coffee. So naturally I'm like, you know what, let's give this a try. Fantastic. Had it at a Christmas party. It was very good. And I will be having more. At number five, I have Ryan Ginger. I'm surprised. I thought you might be a big Ryan Ginger guy. Um, Big fan of this. A little whiskey and ginger ale. It's good stuff. Simple. You get that ginger ale taste, which I love. I love ginger ale. Um, yeah, it's good stuff. I'm gonna put that at 5. Number 4, I thought you might have this on your list too. A good pina colada
Yeah,
goes a
I was thinking
long
about it.
way.
They're good
Goes a
though.
long way. Love that stuff. Um, I had one at I also had a another Christmas party for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna have those again in the future if I ever go to a nice fancy bar. So I'm gonna go with that at 4. Number 3. I have rum and coke also. Very good, simple. I guess the job done. Gives you a little caffeine, a little boost there, so that'll keep you up when you're out. So I'll put that at number 3. Number 2. This might be just a Goodfellas reference. I've actually never had this before, but I just put it at number 2 because it's in my favorite movie. 7 and 7. Um, it's 7 Up, which is basically Sprite, and then vodka, I think, or whiskey or something. So it's called 7 and 7. So yeah, I'm just putting that at number 2, maybe just purely based off a movie reference.
7 and 7. I've never heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an old school like way of saying whiskey and Sprite, basically.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and then I have that too. And then number 1, my favorite, it's always a go-to at the bar is a Jaeger Cola. I know you're not a big fan of Jägermeister.
Ugh.
Um, but yeah, Jaeger Cola is good stuff, man. I don't know. I don't really taste the Jaeger when I drink that, so that's also a good thing. But it's also dangerous. Too many gets you very drunk. So yeah, Jaeger Cola at 1. I also love me a Jaeger bomb, but that's more of a shot. Maybe we'll do that another time. Top 5 shots, but yeah, Jaeger Cola at 1 for me. Um, it's good stuff, man. Love me some Jaeger.
Nice.
It's just the European in me.
I'm looking at a bunch like this long list of like 30 cocktails it has here, and I'm like, there's some ones I gotta try. Like Tequila Sunrise, I didn't realize that's basically just a Shirley Temple, but with
Tequila.
tequila. Tequila.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's nice.
yeah, that looks
It's a
good.
nice drink.
Whiskey Sour I've heard of is good.
I've had that. That's good.
What's the Arnold Palmer? That's the fucking what is that?
Yeah, the John
Ice
Daly. It's called the John Daly.
John Daly?
It's basically Arnold Palmer, but with vodka. They just call it a John Daly because he drinks. That's why.
And then it's just what
So
is
Arnold Palmer is iced tea and lemonade,
iced tea and
but
lemon?
John Daly's iced tea lemonade, but just vodka added. Yeah,
Negroni. Ooh, that looks good.
I've never had that.
Jim
There's a
Campari.
lot. I also want to try a
Old fat.
vodka martini, shaken not stirred. James Bond's
Martini.
iconic drink.
I've never.
I gotta
I've
try
had
that.
sips of martinis and they're disgusting. I hate olives. Old
Right.
fashioned. That looks interesting. I hear it's terrible. It tastes disgusting, but it's like yeah.
Those are
Um,
people who just want to sip on something. They don't want to
yeah.
get like drunk. They just
A
want to
Mai
like have
Tai. I've never had a Mai Tai.
never.
Try a Mai
What
Tai.
was there was another one I wanted Vesper. That's like you remember in Casino Royale when he orders the at the poker table he orders that drink with all those ingredients and shit. I think that's called the Vesper,
Hmm.
which is
Okay,
which
here.
is
I didn't realize this. I feel like an idiot. Rum and Coke, the name for it is Cuba Libre. That's
oh, that's a fancy name.
4 ounces of cola, 1/3 ounce of fresh lime juice, and then 1 2/3 ounce of white rum.
Okay, well that's way more stuff added.
No, it isn't.
It's well, yeah, you add rum and was that lemon juice you said?
Yeah, of course you add rum to a rum and Coke.
I don't know if they add lime juice. Is
To rum
at
and Coke?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever like had a rum
All
and
my
coke with
rum and
lime
Cokes have
juice.
had a lime on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cosmopolitan, Americano, Bloody Mary, Cape Codder. Look at these. Cape Codder is just cranberry juice and vodka. That's what it is.
Okay, so then I'll do that. I'll put that for you, Cape Codder.
There we go. Make it sound a little bit more fancy, like I know what
Right.
you're talking about.
Right.
Dark and stormy. Look at that. Interesting. Anyway, all right, let's end it off here. We've been talking forever. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify. We're on all those platforms. We will see you next week to discuss after post playoff wildcard games. So, and then we'll talk about more stuff then. Thank you guys so much. Go
Go
Bills.
Bills.
You heard it.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. And we'll talk to you later. Cheers.